They told her to stay quiet, to smile more, to stop asking questions, to stop dreaming so big, to sit down, blend in, play safe, and wait her turn. But something inside her refused, because deep down she knew she was never born to fit inside someone else's expectations. She wasn't born to shrink herself so the world could feel comfortable around her ambition. She wasn't born to spend her life surviving. She was born to build, not just a career, not just success, not just a comfortable life, an empire. And maybe that empire looks different for every person listening to this right now. Maybe for you, it's financial freedom. Maybe it's becoming the strongest version of yourself. Maybe it's building a business. Maybe it's becoming a leader in your family. Maybe it's finally healing from everything that tried to break you. Maybe it's proving to yourself that your past does not define your future. Whatever your empire is, hear this clearly. Nobody is coming to hand it to you. You will have to become the kind of person who can build it with your own hands, protect it with your own discipline, and fight for it when the world doubts you. Because the truth is, the world respects people who refuse to quit on themselves. And if you're ready to stop playing small, if you're ready to stop apologizing for your ambition, if you're ready to stop waiting for permission, then this message is for you. These are not just motivational words. These are principles, weapons, standards, the mindset required to build a life so powerful that nobody can ignore it. And it starts with the first rule. Rule number 1, own your story. Every scar, every mistake, every heartbreak, every failure, every rejection, every moment you thought you weren't enough. Own it. Most people spend their entire lives hiding from their story because they think their pain makes them weak. But pain doesn't make you weak. Pretending it never happened does. Your story is proof that you survived things that were supposed to destroy you. The nights nobody checked on you, the moments you felt lost, the people who underestimated you, the times you had to rebuild yourself from nothing. That is not shame. That is evidence of strength. And the moment you stop running from your past, you take your power back. Because confident people are not people who had perfect lives. They're people who stopped being ashamed of imperfect ones. Understand this. Your struggles are not interruptions to your journey. They are the training ground. Every painful chapter taught you something. How to survive, how to adapt, how to fight, how to stand back up when life knocked you down. You didn't lose, you learned. And those lessons become bricks. Brick by brick, decision by decision, habit by habit, you build yourself into someone stronger. The world may try to label you too emotional, too ambitious, too intense, too different, too much. But the people who change the world are always too much for average minds. Never reduce yourself to fit into spaces that were never designed for your greatness. You were not born to become smaller. You were born to expand. Rule number 2. Your voice is your power. So many people live trapped inside silence. They stay quiet in rooms where they should speak. They tolerate disrespect because they fear conflict. They hide their opinions because they fear rejection. And slowly, piece by piece, they disappear. Not physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Because every time you silence yourself to make others comfortable, you abandon a part of who you are. Listen carefully. Silence does not protect your dreams. It kills them. Your voice matters. Your ideas matter. Your boundaries matter. And the people who truly belong in your life will never require you to shrink your truth just to keep their approval. Speak clearly. Speak honestly. Speak with conviction. You do not need to scream to be powerful. Real power is calm. Real power is certain. Real power speaks without begging for validation. Most people are terrified of being disliked, but if your entire life is built around avoiding criticism, you will never become extraordinary. Because greatness attracts attention, leadership attracts resistance, and ambition makes insecure people uncomfortable. That's normal. The moment you stop needing everybody to agree with you is the moment you become dangerous. Not dangerous in a destructive way, dangerous in a powerful way. Because now your actions are no longer controlled by fear. Now you move with purpose. Now you stop asking, "What will people think?" And you start asking, "What kind of life do I actually want?" That question changes everything. Rule number 3, stop waiting for permission. Nobody is coming to rescue you. Nobody is coming to magically transform your life overnight. Nobody is going to knock on your door and hand you confidence, discipline, success, or freedom. You have to decide. You have to become the person who moves before they feel ready. Most people waste years waiting for confidence before they take action. But confidence doesn't come first. Action does. You build confidence by doing hard things repeatedly, by showing up when it's inconvenient, by taking risks while your hands shake, by trying again after embarrassment, by continuing after failure. That's how confidence is built. Not through motivation videos, not through positive quotes, not through wishing, through action. The people you admire are not fearless. They simply learned how to move forward despite fear. And that changes everything. Rule number 4, chase rejection. Yes, chase it. Because rejection is not proof that you are failing. It is proof that you are trying. Every successful person you admire has been rejected more times than most people could emotionally handle. Rejected by jobs, rejected by investors, rejected by audiences, rejected by opportunities. Rejected by people who couldn't see their potential. But instead of stopping, they used rejection as fuel. That's the difference. Weak people take rejection personally. Strong people take rejection strategically. They ask, "What can this teach me? How can I improve? How do I come back stronger?" Every rejection sharpens you. Every setback reveals your character. Every obstacle tests your commitment. And life will always ask the same question. How badly do you want it? Not when things are easy, when things are painful, when progress is slow, when nobody believes in you, when results don't come quickly. That is where your future gets decided. Most people quit too early. They stop one step before the breakthrough. They mistake discomfort for failure. But discomfort is part of growth. The gym hurts before the body transforms. Discipline hurts before life improves. Sacrifice hurts before success arrives. Everything valuable requires pressure. Diamonds are created under pressure. So are leaders. Rule number 5, protect your energy. Your energy is your currency. And too many people waste it on things that add no value to their future. Drama, negativity, fake friendships, pointless arguments, constant distractions. People who only call when they need something. Protect your peace. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your time. Not everyone deserves your emotional investment. One of the most powerful skills you can develop in life is the ability to say no without guilt. No to distractions. No to disrespect. No to environments that drain your spirit. No to habits that sabotage your goals. Because every yes to the wrong thing is a no to the life you actually want. Successful people understand focus, and focus requires sacrifice. You cannot build an empire while giving your energy to chaos every day. You need clarity. You need discipline. You need environments that help you grow instead of keeping you stuck. Pay attention to what drains you. Pay attention to who drains you. because eventually exhaustion becomes your identity if you never protect your peace. Rule number 6. Work when nobody is watching. This is where most people fail. Everybody wants success. Very few people want the process. They want results without repetition, money without sacrifice, confidence without discomfort, respect without consistency. That's not how greatness works. The work matters, the invisible work, the early mornings, the late nights, the discipline when motivation disappears, the promises you keep to yourself. That is where your future is built. Discipline is not glamorous. It is repetitive, boring, quiet. But discipline changes lives. Because motivation is temporary, feelings are temporary, excuses are endless. But disciplined people keep moving anyway, and eventually, consistency creates results that emotions never could. If you truly want to transform your life, stop asking yourself what you feel like doing. Ask yourself what your future requires from you. That question builds empires. Rule number 7. Stop shrinking yourself. The world benefits when you doubt yourself, because insecure people are easier to control. That's why so many people are taught to stay small. Don't speak too loudly. Don't dream too big. Don't take up too much space. Don't intimidate people with your ambition. Forget that. You were not born to become invisible. You were born to become unforgettable. Walk into rooms like you belong there, because you do. Stop apologizing for your goals. Stop explaining your vision to people committed to misunderstanding you. And stop dimming your light for people who refuse to grow. Your ambition is not arrogance. Your confidence is not selfishness. Your standards are not too high. You simply stopped settling. And people who are comfortable with mediocrity will always feel threatened by excellence. That's not your responsibility to fix. Your responsibility is to become everything you are capable of becoming, nothing less. Rule number 8. Respect yourself first. If you don't respect yourself, the world notices. The way you speak about yourself matters. The standards you tolerate matter. The boundaries you ignore matter. People learn how to treat you by what you allow. And every time you betray your own standards to keep someone comfortable, you lose a piece of yourself. Self-respect changes everything. It changes the way you walk into rooms, the way you handle conflict, the way you choose relationships, the way you chase opportunities. Because once you truly know your worth, you stop begging for what should be given freely. Respect, honesty, effort, loyalty, consistency. You stop negotiating with people who only value you when it benefits them. You stop chasing approval from people who never intended to understand you. And you realize something powerful. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. That realization protects your future. Rule number 9. Become obsessed with growth. Never become comfortable. Comfort destroys potential. The moment you think you know everything is the moment your growth dies. Stay hungry, learn constantly, evolve constantly, improve constantly, read more, practice more, study more, fail more, learn more. The strongest people in the world are not the people with the most talent. They are the people most willing to evolve. Growth requires humility, because growth forces you to admit you still have more to learn. But that humility becomes power, because adaptable people survive. Adaptable people lead. Adaptable people dominate. The world changes fast, and the people who refuse to evolve get left behind. Never let your old identity trap your future potential. You are allowed to reinvent yourself, again and again and again. Rule number 10. Discipline is freedom. Most people think freedom means doing whatever you want, but real freedom comes from self-control. The freedom to wake up with purpose, the freedom to control your habits, the freedom to say no to distractions, the freedom to build the life you actually want. Discipline creates options. Undisciplined people become slaves to emotions, impulses, laziness, and distractions. Disciplined people create results, And eventually, results create freedom. That's why discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation changes daily. Discipline stays. Discipline carries you when emotions fail. Discipline keeps you moving when progress feels invisible. Discipline builds the habits that build the future. And the most powerful part? Discipline builds trust in yourself. You become someone who follows through, someone reliable, someone consistent, someone who no longer needs external validation to keep going. That kind of self-trust is life-changing, because once you trust yourself, fear loses control over you. And finally, understand this. Building an empire is not just about money. It's about identity. It's about becoming someone strong enough, disciplined enough, focused enough, and courageous enough to create a life aligned with your values. A life built on purpose instead of approval. A life built on vision instead of fear. A life built on truth instead of pretending. The world will test you. People will doubt you. Some will misunderstand you. Some will leave when you stop being convenient for them. Let them. Your destiny does not depend on universal approval. It depends on your willingness to continue learning, to continue fighting, to continue growing, to continue believing in yourself even when results are delayed. Because the people who win in life are not always the smartest, not always the most talented, not always the luckiest. They are the people who refuse to quit, the people who keep showing up, the people who continue building even when nobody applauds them. And one day, everything changes. One day the sacrifices make sense. One day the discipline pays off. One day the people who doubted you suddenly ask how you did it. But by then, you won't need their validation anymore, because you'll already know. You built yourself. Brick by brick, habit by habit, decision by decision. And that is the real empire. Not the money, not the attention, not the applause. The person you became in the process. So stop waiting, stop shrinking, stop doubting, and start building. Because the life you want is not going to build itself. And the version of you capable of creating it, she's already inside you, waiting for you to finally let her rise.